But yeah, totally with what you were saying, with just keeping connected, which I'm terrible keeping connected with people, and I'm, trying to be better about that.
Mm-hmm.
And especially in 2020, I was just saying this to someone. 2020, if one of the few things that came out of it is we learned that we can still connect with people even if we don't see them see them in real life. We can still connect. And I wasn't able to attend, but my fraternity, they've been doing like every other month or so, they'll just have like a Zoom meeting for all the alumni to just kind of
Yeah.
kick it and just catch up and all that jazz. So yeah, I mean, I miss all my people as well. I've been scheduling up a lot of different people, and anyone out there listening, if you want to be on, hit the DMs.
There you go. Yeah,
So
no, I completely understand that. It's just like this year especially made me realize that, hey, I can reach out to these people because I'm terrible at reaching out too. I mean, like I have my little circle, but I need to reach out more, and I like all my friends from college. I absolutely all adore them, and I never get to talk to them because I don't know, just life happens, and this is a good way to talk to people, you know?
well, and I think one of the main what I like to think of as one of the main cruxes of my show is that quote unquote normal average people, us normal people, if you will, are vastly interesting, especially if you ask the right questions. I mean, um, like I said, I'm going to have some independent music producers on.
Oh, that'll be really interesting.
So, I mean, and that's what I think. There's so many interesting people out there who are, I think, podcast worthy and, you know, wouldn't necessarily be in a podcast. So,
Exact, yeah.
so
No,
I think that's what I'm,
that's for sure. It's nice to I feel like a lot of the podcasts I'm gravitating towards is just random stuff recently because humans are so interesting in their own ways, and it's just really cool to learn a little snippet of somebody's life through stories or like some fun. I don't know. I do I do a lot of trivia on my podcast,
yeah,
and it's just a fun little icebreaker, and then all of a sudden you jump into this story time and you learn so much about the person.
yeah,
I it's just fun times. I don't know. I feel like podcasts are a new way to learn about people and talk to people.
yeah. Well, and since we're kind of heading, you know, as we become more and more online as a culture, if you will, um, I don't know. I think there's a lot of people who do kind of want to be heard. And I don't, I think everyone should feel heard in some regard. So if they're not feeling heard in, maybe their own personal life, um, they can start a podcast or a YouTube
Mhm.
channel or, whatever it is. And then if people feel like they have something interesting to say, then, they can be heard without, I don't know. Just I think that's a really exciting and wonderful thing. Really
Oh, for
unearthing
sure.
unearthing how interesting we all really are underneath.
Oh, yeah. And I feel like that's how like YouTube in the olden days, like I feel like that's what a lot of like the older YouTubers, that's what they wanted. They just were like, "Hey, like I want to be creative and I want to be heard." And that's how they started their careers that way. And
Yeah,
it's just really cool.
I mean, most like YouTubers, they'll say like, when I started YouTube, I didn't, it wasn't a job back then. Now people
Mm-mm.
start and they're looking to make money, and depending, I don't think it's inherently bad. People looking to make money as creatives, I think actually we'd have a much better world if more people found their employment through creativity,
Oh,
which
yeah.
um, but at the same time, then we have a lot of, I don't know, people can argue that we're chasing algorithms and then you just kind of end up chasing your own tail where you do what's popular and what is popular is what everyone's doing. So it just kind of ends up in a circle and you're not really making. I like the people who are trying to make new things, really make art, because it is art. YouTube videos are art. There are
Mm-hmm.
some absolutely beautiful channels out there, but unfortunately there's just a lot of, and I'm not even gonna, I can't even say there's anything wrong with having a bad, if you don't quite have the talent, you should still be able to express yourself. Those people just shouldn't expect to get paid well for it. And that's all.
Exactly.
That's all I say. I mean, everyone should do it as a hobby. The really
Mhm.
good ones should get paid, and the bad ones should not expect to get paid. So that's it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think we're better off as a society if with people just putting their creativity out there.
I think we're so money focused that, I mean, I found myself doing this too because I was so worried about using my time to make money that I was like, well, I need to do all this overtime. I don't need hobbies. I don't need to do this. And I think that's why people want to make money so bad, is because they think they're wasting their time just doing something that they like for fun, you know? Because I was thinking, oh, maybe I should get a side gig or something. And I'm like, you know what? I need to find something passionate that I'm passionate about because, I mean, we both played soccer. We were both passionate about soccer.
Absolutely.
And I've actually been struggling finding a new hobby. And I stumbled across this and I'm like, well, I could do DoorDash. I could do different things in this time that I'm using to be creative and do fun things. But I feel like the mind needs to do stuff like this to function in your daily life. I found that I'm a little bit happier now that I have started this. It's not only helping me in a social aspect, but it's helping me in that creative aspect too, I would say.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Um, and something I always kind of recall back to is, back when I was probably like freshman, sophomore in college, whenever I would go home for the summer to work, I would just work like a dog, 60 hours a week, extra shift, yes, sir, whatever it is. But then it would get to the point where like my dreams would be about work. Like I would be having nightmares about having
Yes.
really bad days at work. And I'm like, at that point, you need variety in your mind. I mean, variety is important in almost all aspects of things, but definitely need variety in your mind. You don't want your mind completely not paying attention to what you're doing, of course, but it's the yin and the yang. So the work,
Yes,
you gotta have a
balance.
little bit of imagination in the work and a little bit of work in your imagination.
Exactly. No, that's a really good way to put it because I feel like that's like coming out of college, I am definitely struggling with that aspect of my life. I was so focused on paying off my student loans that I decided that, oh, you can put this off until you pay your loans. And now that I'm done with that, I'm struggling to have fun. I'm struggling to do fun things because I'm like, oh, I need to save money. When I mean, it's always good to save money, don't get me wrong, but you need that balance in your life to um
Yeah. No,
just be happy and function as a normal human, you know?